What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be going through your guys' questions about The Flash Season 9 or anything else Arrowverse related. So yeah, let's get right into it. Our first question comes from Brandon Stump, and he asks, it appears that the first graphic novel of Season 9 will be 5 episodes and focus on the Red Death. How many more graphic novels do you think we'll get, and what do you think they will be about? That's a great question. First of all, so obviously we're going to have the graphic novel with the Red Death to start off the season, and in between that, just because of all the recent information we've got in regard to Oliver Queen, Bloodwork, and, all these other characters that are returning, I think that, in between episode 5 and maybe episode 10, 11 or so, I think that's all going to be fan service, basically. So, just returning characters, stuff we've wanted to see. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of storyline there. I think it's going to be a lot of entertaining fan service episodes. However, I do think there will be another graphic novel starting in maybe episode 10 or so that will end off the season. They did say that for Bloodwork's return, he was supposed to sort of start that graphic novel. Obviously, he wouldn't be a huge part of it, but he was supposed to start that graphic novel for Barry and Team Flash. So I think starting in episode 10, there will be the second and final graphic novel of the show and, the second of the season. So guys, our next question comes from Tommy DeVito, who asks, what do you think the Arrowverse would have been like if COVID hadn't happened, ruining all of their plans and crossovers, such as DIGGLE as Green Lantern appearances, the Felix Faust crossover Black Lightning mentioned, the Batwoman and Superman and Lois crossover, which could have forced DC to leave that show on Earth Prime like it was originally intended, and more appearances of Warren Christie's Batman? I think that is a very, very interesting question. First of all, if COVID hadn't happened, I will stand by this. I think if COVID hadn't happened, The Flash Season 7 would have been a great season. I stand by that. I think they definitely would have had a lot of different storylines. They sort of had to create storylines for characters because of COVID, like Allegra and Chester. They started to be terrible in that season. So first things first, I think The Flash Season 7 would have been a lot better. It also would have had a lot more episodes, in my opinion. They could have, ended The Flash Season 6 a lot better as well. And the Warren Christie's Batman is a very interesting one. I don't think they really would have done anything with him. Reason being, obviously, it's the Arrowverse. They don't really have the rights to Batman. So, I mean, they could have had more scenes with Bruce Wayne, I guess. But I just don't think they can actually record him in the Batsuit, if that makes any sense. So I really don't think they would have done too much with that. I think Superman and Lois, that's another interesting one. I don't know, because Superman and Lois, I think it was originally supposed to be on Earth Prime, like in season 1, but then as they, kind of went on, they're like, oh, the Arrowverse is kind of declining. We might not be able to, have them on Earth Prime if we want to keep the show going. So I think that might have still not been on Earth Prime, but I think it definitely could have, stayed on, Earth Prime-like storylines for longer. And I think also, other shows might not have been canceled. Supergirl maybe got another season, like Legends might not have got canceled. They might have been able to keep better characters. So yeah, I think, just so many things that happened that, were because of COVID. I think if COVID didn't happen, the Arrowverse would look a lot different, but overall, I think the Arrowverse would still be, thriving a lot more than it is now. And yeah, with the Batwoman and Superman and Lois potential crossover that they were thinking of, I think they still could have done that. And then if Superman and Lois did have to leave the Arrowverse, they could have just said that took place on whatever Earth that Superman and Lois is on now. So next up is a question from Chosen Vader Owner, who says, imagine this, the show started with Eobard Thawne / Reverse Flash, and it ends with Eddie Thawne / Cobalt Blue. Your thoughts on this? Now, in my personal opinion, I think it probably should still end with the Reverse Flash. However, if Eddie Thawne was in the, the last part of the season playing Cobalt Blue, I think that would be very, very nice to see. Obviously, I think the only reason they would throw Eddie Thawne in there to be Cobalt Blue is just because of, all the fans wanting that. Eric Wallace, this season's going to be a lot of fan service, I think. So yeah, I think that's like the only reason that he might throw Eddie Thawne in there. Otherwise, I think somebody else would probably be Cobalt Blue. That's just my personal opinion. And with the Red Death stuff, are we even going to be getting Cobalt Blue? Like, what does that blue crystal really mean? We don't like 100% know what's going on here. But yes, I think, if they had Cobalt Blue / Eddie Thawne in there somewhere toward the end of the season, I think that'd be good to see. So our next string of questions come from Arrowverse Edits, and his first question is, do you think Barry is looking at Grodd in the forest in the Flash Season 9 trailer? And the answer to that I have is yes. I mean, he's looking up. Grodd's obviously a lot taller than him, and he's in a forest. The last time we saw Grodd was when he was in a forest, so I definitely think that he's got to be talking to Grodd here, and he's, recruiting him to help him because Grodd's, an anti-hero now. I think that's going to be pretty cool to see. His second question is, how do you think the Flash Season 9 will end? I'd love for them to do something along the lines of what we've seen in the past, like Season 1, where it was like the Flash missing, vanishes in Crisis, but I don't think it'll be exactly like that anymore, just because with Eric Wallace they've kind of skewed away from that. However, I think they do have to do something with Matt Ledger's Reverse Flash. I think it wouldn't really make a lot of sense if they didn't do that, so I'm really hoping they do just something with Matt Ledger's Reverse Flash. Question number 3 he has is, what would you like to see from the last half of Season 9? Like I said earlier in the video, I'd love to see Cobalt Blue return, or appear, I should say, sometime in the back half of Season 9. Obviously, we're going to be getting a lot of returning characters. Bloodwork, Oliver Queen, Kid Flash, and Diggle are all going to be returning. So yeah, more returning characters as well I'd like to see in the back half, like Zoom, maybe Reverse Flash, Cisco, of course. We got to see all those characters return. His fourth question is, who are your top 3 rogues you want to see return in the Season 9 Rogue/Red Death arc? That is a very good question. Of course, Grodd is another one that I want to see, even though he's not exactly a rogue anymore. I'd love to see another version of Captain Cold. I mean, I don't think they're really going to bring back, the original Captain Cold, but I think if they had a different version of Captain Cold still, I think that'd be so cool to see. They've got a different version of Captain Boomerang, so why not bring back another version of Captain Cold? And then, yeah, just some other rogues I'd really like to see. Of course, Weather Wizard, he's still alive, so, why not do something with him? I think that definitely would be really cool to see him be a villain once again. And then another villain, Trickster. We haven't seen him in a while, so I think, if he ended up returning as well, that'd be a great callback to the earlier seasons. Even like the Mark Hamill Trickster, I think that'd be cool to see once again. But yeah, those are the rogues that I think I would love to see return. And his final question is, will you do a watch party for the Flash Season 9 finale? I don't know. That's interesting. I might have to do one of those. I don't think I've ever live streamed on this channel. So, yeah, that might be pretty interesting. I might have to think about that. So next up, we got a couple questions from Pizzera889, who first asks, what if Diggle accepted the Green Lantern ring? Now, I think the only reason he didn't accept the Green Lantern ring in Season 8 is because they didn't know if they were going to get his Season 9. So now that they are going to get his Season 9, I think that it's definitely possible that he could end up accepting the Green Lantern ring, and I think that's what he has to do in his return. Him being the Green Lantern, I think, would be absolutely awesome to see, and, they've been teasing that for years now, so I think now would be a great time to do it. His next question is, who else would you like to return for the Flash's final season? I think the 3 main characters that I want to return the most are going to be Zoom, Cisco, and for sure Matt Ledger Reverse Flash as a villain. Obviously, there's a ton of other characters that have already been confirmed that were originally some of my top 3 characters, of course, like Oliver Queen. So yeah, I think if those other 3 characters I just mentioned return, I think this is basically going to be a perfect season. So our next question comes from Muhammad Amine, asking me to rank the Flash's seasons. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with that. So at number 8, I have the Flash Season 7, of course. Number 7, I have the Flash Season 4. Number 6, I have the Flash Season 5. Number 5, I have Season 8. Number 4, I have Season 3. Number 3, I have Season 6. Number 2, Season 2. And number 1 is the Flash Season 1. If you guys want to actually, have my reasonings as to why those are my rankings, I believe I made a video that was ranking the Flash's seasons like a few months ago, like right after the Flash Season 8 ended, so you guys can go and check that out if you want. But yeah, those are my rankings and of course my personal opinion. And our final question of the video comes from Ambrose Rawl, who asks basically just, would a multiverse version of the Reverse Flash be a good villain to end the show on? And to be honest, I don't really think so. I think they kind of have to use, the Reverse Flash that we've known. And I think they could definitely find a way to make it a Matt Ledger version of Reverse Flash that has not yet killed Barry's mother. So then if they want to, they can do the whole storyline of them going back in time and Reverse Flash killing Barry's mother. And I've said my theory of how this is possible in a lot of videos, so if you guys remember in that season 2 episode 11 version of Reverse Flash that hadn't yet killed Barry's mother, I think it's possible that he could end up returning in season 9. Now obviously he didn't kill Barry's mother in season 2, and eventually we know that he would go on to kill Barry's mother. We don't know what happens in between his season 2 appearance and him going to kill Barry's mother. I think this is what could be happening, is his return in the Flash season 9. But anyways, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as any other additional questions you guys might have for me about the Flash Season 9 or the Arrowverse. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.